everyone.
Right? It's a full house. It's so exciting to jump in and already see so many people joining us. Astrology and Alchemy here every week. Man, it's been a week already, Matt. Can you believe it?
Yeah, I was kind of thinking it's like what I'm like totally screwed up on what day of the week it is today.
Tuesday. Thought it was a
Jesus.
Monday. Could have been a
Actually, no, I thought it was
week.
farther into the week. The last 2 days have been long. So
Yeah, it's been crazy. It's been weird. It's been wild, but it's been a full moon. We had a full moon in Aries yesterday. We told you about it. We told you to expect it. We told you how it was going to feel. And I wonder how many of you felt the full moon in Aries. What about you, Matt? Did you experience it? Did you feel it? Did it have a funk for you at all?
not so much of a funk, but yeah, definitely. I got a lot of stuff done, so I feel that's like kind of the Aries thing too. Just moving. So
Ooh,
I
yeah.
was very productive the last 2 days. So
Okay.
definitely
I did
think that's
not feel that
consistent with
way.
it.
Well, I don't know. I guess I was productive. I drove. I did things. I packed a car. I drove through states. I mean, I was productive, but I didn't feel productive. Maybe that's the difference.
There you go.
You know, who's to say? How did you guys feel in the chat room? Let us know. Where are you joining us from? How did you feel? Mary says, thanks for getting Little Red Corvette stuck in my head all day. You're very welcome. Somebody was trying to shame me for being a Prince fan earlier today on my
Really?
stream. Yes. I
One of
can't
my
help
good friends is a huge Prince fan.
man.
There's no shame
Little red
in
Corvette,
Prince.
baby, I want to. Man, no shame. What's your favorite Prince song?
Oh, Purple Rain by far. That guitar solo.
Wow, that was quick,
Oh, yeah,
and I wasn't
it's not even
expecting that.
not even close. By far my favorite Prince song.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Pretty crazy. Okay. Well,
Why is that odd?
um, huh? Well,
Why'd you find that surprising?
I don't know. I just didn't expect that one, I guess, and it was so
Hmm.
quick. I didn't expect you to have an answer so quickly, but you did, and so I was like, wow. Okay. Good. Good. Okay. Yeah. Okay. And somebody's already corrected me in the chat room. I know. I'm a kind of it's here. It's upon us, okay? The full moon in Aries is upon us. Don't get all saucy on me. October 20th. That's tomorrow. So let's go ahead and start then. Let's go ahead
Get
and
it rolling.
start with it.
Get it rolling.
Let's get it rolling. Astrology and alchemy. Fire signs. Can't live with them.
Yeah.
Can't really live without them.
I want to know that. It's the person who's giving you grief. They have fire sign.
Fire sign.
It is? Okay. Yeah.
Always a fire sign. It's always a fire sign. Or an earth sign. Usually a fire sign. Anyway, tomorrow, guys. Tomorrow is Wednesday, October 20th. 11 days shy of my favorite holiday. And it will be the full moon in Aries. The blood moon, if you will. Full moon in Aries, 27 degrees. 27 being one of my favorite numbers, special number, golden number. Restore self. Do less, do different, do more. Do for you, be brazen. Matt, what do we do with a full moon in Aries?
Well, so this is like the peak of the energy. So, the new one kind of sets the cycle. So the new one was in Libra. So that whole diplomacy and things. And so now it's putting things into action. So I would say act. So whatever your plan was and whatever you're working with other people, now is the time to put that all into action and do things. So I would say it's much like the person, whoever the fire sign was that was telling you to get moving and get things going on. That's kind of the theme, I would say. Get moving, do it. My whole Aries theme is screw it, just do it. So not that I'm wired that way. I'm not Aries is like the sign opposite of like all my energy, but
I love the screw it, just do it. I think that's a great way to look at it. Aries is powerful, that ram, I always think of, if you've watched them on Nat Geo where they crack their skulls, just gives me like a brain freeze or a migraine right away. It's such a powerful moment, that masculine forward assertion. it can be a head-on collision, I think.
I was gonna add, if anyone knows, so we add some little extra things here and stuff. If you ever look on your chart and see your north node and your south node, best way to describe this is your south node is kind of what you come into this life with a PhD in, and your north node is your syllabus for your life. And so, like for me, my south node is Libra, so I, kind of am an expert in Libra-ness, and my north node is Aries, which means I need to be more Aries-like. And so I need a little more screw it, just do it, and a little less diplomacy and soft power. So and indecisiveness. So so that's part of it. Be less decisive and just do stuff. And so I'm not very Aries-like, but I need to be more Aries-like.
Stop thinking about it. Stop trying to be cryptic and mysterious, and stop trying to play games. And if that's not what you want, stop it. Quit it. It's my favorite SNL skit. Just stop it. And do this instead. Do that thing that you want to do. Put out the energy that you want to receive. You know what I mean? What are you waiting for? What song does that make you think of? Waiting on a girl like you.
I don't know. I didn't have a song, but now that song's in my head. So
dang, that's a good song. Come into my life.
I'm going to date myself, but that reminds me of like middle school dances.
So much fun. That could be an Aries space. That could be a fire space. This can be encouraging. It's to take on conflicts. It's to be competitive. You're going to see people wanting to be motivated and feeling full of drive, but take care of self. Take care of self. Tomorrow morning when you walk out there and you see that full moon shining at you in the sky, it is a masculine ram of a blood moon in Aries, and it is bold, and it's asking you to look into self and restore, and then kick yourself in your own ass and get moving already. What are you going to be doing with that? So if you have been waiting for that person to reach out to you, if you've been waiting for the promotion, if you've been waiting to turn in those papers or reach out to that publisher or whatever it is that you're thinking of doing, tomorrow will be the day that people feel the initiative to act. Screw it, just do it. So will you be in that momentum? It's up to you. It's up to you to see it and how it moves as well. So now you'll be aware. But then Thursday, October 21st. The 21st, always kind of a magical number because I'm always thinking of the solstice. And here it is. The moon will be in Taurus, and it is conjunct Uranus in Taurus. So double energy there, double Earth Taurus energy. Moon in Taurus conjunct Uranus in Taurus. How do you feel about that?
Well, first of all, folks, if you know your sign, when your moon is there's something called lunar return. You can actually use this to make predictions for the month. When the moon hits your the same sign and degree as when you were born, and then obviously the other planets are in different places, so you can do different themes and stuff off of that. But it's also kind of like your high point of the month, and so my moon is a Taurus moon, so I always like to hear when moon is in Taurus. So I should be close to my peak of October. Conjunct is combining the energies. Moon, inner self, emotional self, kind of your introverted part of you, and Taurus or Uranus is that wild curveball, kind of the rebellious. It's it's that kind of thing that comes out of left field and kind of changes everything. So these are combining. So you have your emotions combining with things kind of coming out of left field. So I'd say these are kind of sudden and unknown, or I should say, unexpected changes or unexpected events, but these will align well with your emotional state and will also put in that whole, I always say with Taurus, it's like stable and indulgent. So it's not going to move a whole lot, but it's going to be very, very indulgent. So
after you do stuff on the full moon, then you have feelings and wild energy frequencies coming out of thoughts and intentions of other people that are going to be kind of indulgent. That's
this could be like this is a simple one, but this could be like you had plans and you're kind of, do I want to go? Do I want to go? Do I want to go? And then all of a sudden, all the plans cancel, and all you wanted to do is really like watch Netflix under some blankets. Now you get the perfect chance to do it. You can just indulge yourself because all the different things in the universe twist and align to let you do what you need to do for your emotional security and stability. So it's a good.
And
I think
again,
it'll be a good mental health. It'll be a good mental health day, and you'll have the opportunity to have that mental health day if you want it.
great mental health day. Think outside the box. That mental health, that thinking, that intention, that silent, that slow, that earth energy. Close your eyes, think sigils, see signs, think a little differently. Barrel, 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 people are strange when you're a stranger. It's like laying in bed and watching Lost Boys and eating, sour cream and onion chips and French onion dip and just relaxing. Man, that'd be bad for me. That'd be good Thursday. So that's kind of what I see.
A gray, rainy day in October where you can just chill out and watch horror movies. I love those days.
Man, that's what we need to do, everybody, on Thursday. We need to have a horror movie sleepover. Like, yeah. Well, let's see. What if we did that? Because this is what and how we use astrology in kind of that predictive occult space. Doesn't the moon shed some light on Uranus or make it come more alive, says Steph? The moon shedding some light on. I'll let you answer that because I don't typically think of the moon as shedding light on anything. I think of the moon as a more introspective, feminine, like, let me tell you how I feel. And I mean, that does shed light on things in a certain essence, but just because that's how you feel, it doesn't mean that's what you think.
Yeah, I wouldn't necessarily look at it that way, but I look at conjunct as combining. So you're combining the energies because they're over top each other. So you're combining all the moon stuff with all the moon energy with all the Uranus energy. So you may want to, you could view it, depending, I guess, on how you view the moon, you could view it that way. But I always view the moon as kind of like the inner emotional self, maybe the stuff that people maybe don't see, but it's cooking inside you, aligning well with that. Uranus is like the curve. I know you call it like the Winona Ryder. I just call it.
I do call it.
I call it the curveball. It's like the unexpected thing that just kind of jumps in and messes a whole bunch of stuff off. But since these are combined, I'm saying whatever comes in to mess things up actually is more of a positive because it's going to align with your emotions.
Oh, even though it's still dark, but there is a little light, like the darker side. Yes, Steph, in that sense, I kind of think of it like a Pink Floyd album. It's going to be introspective, but it's not always going to be, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know what I mean. You know what I mean. You know what I mean. Okay, guys. Then let's see. If we decide to stay in, that's Thursday. If we decide to have a mental health day on Thursday, Friday. What's going to happen on Friday? Friday.
Okay, we're good. There's not a lot so far this week. This
It's pretty calm.
So far. This
is good.
Makes me wonder what's coming.
Hey, just you wait. So Mars in Libra squaring off with Pluto in Capricorn. So anytime I think Mars, I think Mel Gibson fighting on a hill in a kilt. Libra, we must be fair and equal. Squaring off with bomb, 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 bomb in the corner. Pluto in Capricorn, which is the far off planet. He's not sure if he's a planet. He's angry because he's not always a planet. He's a rock. He's a planet. He's a rock. No one knows. And it's in Capricorn, which is a cardinal thought earth sign. You know what I mean? It's you have celebrity death match of a fire sign and an earth sign, and a fire sign that's got two little flames trying to be equal, and a earth sign that's spearheaded and ready to fight. What's going to happen? This is Friday. Matt, what do you see?
So I always use square as it's in your way, and so you have to deal with it. So Mars and Libra is an interesting one in that, so as you said, with your Mel Gibson, Mars is action. It's, your stereotypical male energy. So it's acting, but Libra is fairness. It's indecisive. It's very sociable. I always view it as like soft power. So I view Mars in Libra as working through others or, driving your agenda and your ego through other people. And what's in the way? Pluto Pluto's big change. Pluto's like, control and big, whereas Uranus is that little curveball. Pluto's like the big earthquake event. It's impersonal. It doesn't give a crap. These are big changes that aren't going to you're not going to have a big choice in. Capricorn, I view that as kind of the CEO business accomplishment energy. So this is like the whole universe is changing. We're doing this huge business initiative, or we're launching this whole big new thing, and we don't give a crap about you and what you're trying to do and your soft power. So I view this as whatever your agenda and whatever you may be trying to accomplish and work through others, there's going to be big changes just in the whole universe around you that are going to get in your way and be like, today's the opening day of basketball. It's like, you're going up with that shot, and, the 7-foot guy just comes over and goes, rejected. That's your
Right, go. You're out of there. You're out of there. For real. Someone... you guys, we have such a fun chat. We have people, hi, Steph. We have Mars and Pluto combinations are intense, she says, and that's absolutely true. Life transformation and a fiery, like motivated way. Move, bitch. It's a ludicrous kind of energy. And it's going to be, I'm falling on a Friday. The Friday, weather is supposed to be getting cold, moving in on fronts this Thursday. So we're going to feel kind of a shift. I imagine people will be a little irritated, maybe have a little bit of a headache or something like that. And who knows how it's going to go, because it's Friday. People are going to want to do something, but then I don't know if they will. And it might be, you know what I mean? I mean, how do you see it panning out for yourself, guys? This is intense planetary movements that can be bitter confrontation. It can be fighting. It can be all sorts of things. For my witches out there, I've recommended nails, ritual suggestions for power dynamic, grace, and surrender. In a game of tug of war, or in my favorite, like musical chairs, to be the last one there yanking, and then to suddenly just let go of the rope. Be realistic about what's happening. How much power and control do you really have? And are you tied up in it, on it, to it, or can you just let go and watch it just, It's a really exciting resistance that I see for Friday. And if you can just kick back and relax and not feel so high strung, the tension within and without will be better, I think, for you. That would be my advice. But you had said it. You said it, Matt. Relatively calm, depending on how people act, until Saturday. And I don't know if this is a huge deal, but it is the sun moving, dun, 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 into Scorpio. And so the sun entering Scorpio, I think center of the universe, not universe, center of the galaxy, and that water sign, the poison sign, the mysterious, sneaky sign. Hi, Brianna. What do you see in that, Matt? What's going to happen on Saturday? Oh, no.
What?
Sun is going to enter Scorpio. What's going to happen? I'm nervous.
I thought something just happened. Well, first of all, I got to just... I got to look off into the distance and sigh, because we're leaving Libra, which I have a lot of Libra energy, so I like it. And now we're getting into water. And as we've said before, you don't like when there's a lot of air. I don't like when there's a lot of water. I like water signs.
Get me out of this
I have lots of water signs as friends, but I don't have a lot of water in my chart, and I struggle when there's a lot of things in water. So I'm less than thrilled. But Scorpio I view it as, it's like the James Bond of the zodiac. It is intensity. It can be secretive. It can have agendas. But it is intense. And so we have intense water, or, we don't talk a whole lot about cardinal, fixed, immutable, but it's the fixed sign. So it's the stable, not really moving. So it's stable water. So it's stable emotions. I view it almost like a laser is concentrated white. Scorpio is concentrated emotion. Right. Like you mentioned, distilled all the way down to where it can be poisonous. And so, so we're moving from a very diplomatic but influential So it's still in the same kind of theme, I would say, is where there was a lot of energy of other people trying to influence you and your agendas to now this really focused intensity. So that's not going to necessarily make those agendas go away. It's going to change. Darker and more intense, in my opinion.
Beware of flexibility, eh? This is going to be such an exciting time, and don't take things personally, I would say maybe is a thought. Without saying too much, this is a lot of light work, right? This is water is going to refract and reflect. Things may not seem as clear. You're going to want those solutions. You might be attracted to the mystery, to the dark side where they have cookies. So it's a great time for closure on past pain. Anything that's a rejection or a pain or tactile magic of the past. Scorpio is, like Botox. It's using something that can otherwise be really harmful for something cosmetically healing and to allow you to move past and through things. I think is, an interesting energy to consider. Tactile magic. What do I mean by that? Good question. Well, if people are doing rituals for like light work, tactile magic is going to be touch, it's going to be feel, it's going to be psychometry, it's going to be grinding things with your hands, it's going to be clay, it's going to be dirt, it's going to be gardening, it's going to be. I think of Indiana Jones reaching his hand into the hole of critters where she had to reach, well, she did actually, the girl did, right? She had to reach in and get that thing, so that he didn't die in there. Yeah, that's what I think of. I think of being brave enough, or when people are online and you're watching those reaction videos and they reach their hand into a box, and you don't know what it is, you can really freak yourself out. You can really, get in your own mind and make yourself paranoid. We don't need to do that. Just be bold, think about it, do it.
And I wouldn't necessarily say that Scorpios are inflexible. That's more, I would say, a Taurus energy. But fixed signs are more stable. So if you just think about the seasons, the first sign of the season is your cardinal sign. They like to drive change. So it's a little more like leadership energy. We're going to initiate and drive change. The middle sign is your fixed signs. I view them as they like things more the way they are. So just kind of stable. So I wouldn't say inflexible. I call it more stability. And then the last sign of a season is your mutable sign. And they're the ones that are much more flexible and kind of go with the flow. So we're moving from Libra and Cancer are both cardinal signs. So they drive things, but they drive things indirectly. So now it's that focused intensity, but it's kind of stable. And then if you think about a Scorpion, they're nocturnal. And,
freaks come out at night.
They grab things, stab it, and drag it back into their lair. And so just.
Dang, that's true. That's true. Scorpios, yeah. I think of it's either the claw or the tail. It's hard to. I don't know why, but in Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, they're riding an ant.
Yeah.
And then don't they experience a scorpion?
The poor scorpion kills the ant.
Yeah. I always think of that scene when I think of Scorpio energy. Is that a ghost or a person?
That's a dog you're hearing, but she's slowly going down the steps.
Be aware of that. Be aware of that, sneaky, mysterious something is gonna creep up and catch your emotions off guard. And you want it to be good for you. You want it to be the Botox kind, not the bad kind, right? You don't
Or view it if like in Libra, if all that indirect soft power and influence from others helps set like the chessboard up. Now that it moves into Scorpio, it's when the people that have kind of set those agendas, now they make their move, their checkmate whereas the last month may have been things being put into position. Now you're going to see things start to get executed. So just watch.
Look out.
Be careful.
Look out. Sunday.
It's an intense time.
It is an intense time. Sunday. Mary says it's like when you sneak around at midnight and you're trying to sneak something and everything makes a damn noise. And you drop it and it bounces and crashes in the microwave. And yeah, all that stuff for sure. Sunday, the 24th. the moon will be in Gemini. Oh, goodness. And that'll be opposite Venus in that good old fire Sagittarius. Venus, vagina, sensuality. Moon in Gemini, I think, gosh, introspective, two-faced, needing two ideas, needing more perspectives. Shoot. How is this going to pan out after a Scorpio movement? Like, how is this going to work? What does the moon in Gemini opposing Venus and Sagittarius mean?
So I view opposite as it's tension. So these can be, it can be good tension, it can be bad tension. It's kind of like opposites attract kind of piece. So in this case, I'm going to do this backwards because I think it's easier. Venus, can be business. A lot of times we kind of talk more about the romantic piece of it, but in Sagittarius is the explorer. So it's kind of like the bungee jumper. So, you just figure about this. It's romance and willing to explore and try new things. And so again, mutable sign. So again, flexible. So we're going to try different things, and it has tension with your inner emotions in Gemini, which is social butterfly, very extroverted. Gemini is probably like the most flirtatious of the 12 signs. So you have this emotional energy in a flirty space. And then I also go with the twins. I always view it as like the road less traveled. So you have the two paths. Which way do I go? Which way do I go? Which way do I go? So you're emotionally in a very extroverted space, kind of weighing options, deciding things. And you have this tension between wanting to explore and do something in this business or romantic space. So I see this energy as people maybe in the romantic space weighing options and trying to figure out what they're going to do. And they're doing it in a emotional but extroverted way. So if you start getting contacted from people over the weekend, even if it seems innocent, there could be like feelers going out there in that space. So just have your kind of radar up and watch, because again, the extroverted interaction and kind of weighing options and exploring. So there could be a lot of kind of feeling things out emotionally that could potentially lead to things romantically. So if you're inclined in that area and interested in that area, be aware of it. And there could also be the business part of that. So you could also get some potential business leads or feelers out that way as well. So don't want to lose sight of that part of Venus.
And that's all Sunday, guys. So this ends the weekend out with like, going into the last week of the month and some, kind of this flirtatious energy, but also understanding time and perspective. You might struggle to get along with people. You might communicate really well. It might be lacking. It might not. It's the Southern Oracle, if you will, the bless your heart. It's kind of being aware of things in context. So fire sensuality, I think of Ricky Martin and how funny it is that he's the devil, living la vida loca. These burning sigils, these fire signs, this Venus and Sagittarius, this kind of passion and sex sells. And he's, a homosexual man. And and I just thought that was so funny. He wasn't at that time out yet. And all of his videos, he's just, seems really into melting candles onto hot chicks and just all sorts of craziness that you're watching. And you're like, what's going on here? And that is where my spirit guides take me. They take me to that 90s music video thinking like, I can't watch this and take it seriously because, well, I mean, maybe can't, like, what's going on here now that I know that, like, it's a weird kind of interesting energy, and that's that tension or that kind of juxtaposition that, and it's Sunday. So what is that?
Think about air. So it's air and fire. So think about what air does to fire. It helps it expand.
Rise.
It feeds it. So this is emotional energy feeding this romantic energy. And so
like a hot air balloon.
Whereas water can kind of quench it, but then you get steam. So that's still interesting. But this just like magnifies the fire.
Ooh.
And I think my son's coming home from work, so you may hear my little pack of chihuahuas going nuts.
Katie says, man, Sunday could be fun. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
Could be.
Could be.
Be a little bit better if the energy was like on a Friday or Saturday, but hey.
Right.
Work with what you got.
Yeah, you got to work with what you got. It's going to be a much better date night on Sunday than it will on Friday with Mars and Libra, Pluto and Capricorn. Sunday is probably a better date day. Ah,
There
there
you
they
go.
are. Look at them go. Okay, and just like that, think of that, hear that. With that, guys, burning sigils, fire signs, ash work, depending on how you want to use that. That Sunday is going to be fun. And then we are in the last week of October 2021. Right, guys? It's going to be Monday, October 25th, which is crazy because it's only 9:30. So we're already kind of whizzing through this week. It's going to be a pretty easy, calm for the most part. Maybe some big changes, but not a lot of tug and pull and yanking of the universe. Not a bunch of crazy onanistic struggles. We've gone direct now, so Mercury's not retrograde. And Monday, next Monday, October 25th, the moon will be in Cancer, and that's going to be trine what? Ah, the sun in Scorpio. Hmm. Hmm. What do you think when you see that or hear that?
Water and water. Probably not going to be a good day for Matt.
Oh.
That's okay. Yeah, so moon and Cancer. So emotions again, and moon rules Cancer. So it's kind of, as the moon changes, Cancer kind of changes. So it's kind of a moody energy. I think it's probably a worse rap. I have lots of friends that are Cancer, so I like the energy, but I think it's kind of a bad rap. But it's, think of the crab or I always think also of a turtle, even though it's not the sign for it, carries its home on its back. Hard shell outside, but mushy inside, so it needs to kind of protect itself. And so it's this emotional space. I would view the moon in Cancer as a very kind of emotionally tumultuous, very changeable, very moody energy. Trine is synergy. So it's got synergy with the sun, your extroverted self, your core energy in this James Bond intense. So I feel like this is water squared, emotion squared. This is very, very emotional intensity. So yeah, lots of emotional intensity on Monday that could play itself out in weird ways. So you could have, this might be where you get like the call out of left field where somebody's just going to like unload on you and all the baggage they've had, or somebody goes from joking around with you to like, you have some huge blow up, like that kind of deal. It's just very, very, very emotional, and I see it as intense and kind of, I call it tumultuous just because it's not going to be, it can be unpredictable. So yeah, so Monday is as calm as everything was. Monday, and maybe it's just because water kind of makes me nervous, but I could see that as a interesting day. That's the day.
Yeah.
As much as Thursday's the stay home mental health day, it looks like if I would base my schedule based off this, Monday would be the day I'd want to stay in bed.
Well, and we were going to stay in bed this Thursday. So then what? We'll have to do it again on Monday, which is okay, guys. We can do it both. We can do what we want. We are the masters of our own universe, right? Someone had asked about the black moon Lilith or the dark moon. That's kind of an interesting thought. It is currently in Gemini as of July of this year, and it's going to be in Gemini until April 20. Is it a whole year until next April? So it'd be April 2022. I don't know if we want to talk about that or not. I guess we can, or I can post a link about it. It's kind of a cool thing if you're into like shadow astrology and things like that. It kind of talks about consciousness and awareness and things of that nature. And there's definitely going to be some things going on there. But let's finish up this week strong. Let's see it all the way through, and then we can take all of your guys' questions. So next Monday, the moon's in Cancer, and that's trying the sun in Scorpio. So comfort, dirty work. Man, find someone else to do your dirty work. That might be the day that I order someone to come and help me dust and clean around the house. Somebody to help me
Avoid
delegate.
tough discussions, because that's not the day to have like a deep talk, because it's probably going to be volatile. This is water squared. You would think more like a fire thing on it. Like I see this as this could be really volatile. This is like tsunami.
Really?
Be careful. Yeah, just be careful.
Okay, I'm adding that to my cheat sheet for those people who get
I
the
think
daily
this is
cheat
dumb.
sheet.
I think too, and it ruined so much of my stuff. I was cleaning my garage last summer, and on the radar was a little tiny speck of green. There was a little tiny cloud in the sky. So I totally underestimated it, and we got like over an inch of rain out of the thing.
Oh no.
It's that kind. It's that kind of when I'm talking about. It's that kind of water. It might not look like it's going to be big, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh crap, your car is like floating down the road. So just be careful.
True.
Hey, but it's the only day.
I
Usually
don't
we
want to
have
mention it.
multiple days. We usually have multiple days where I'm like, ugh,
Right.
this is the only day this week.
Usually there's more than one.
There's only
We'll be
one
calm.
bad day. So
Brianna says Monday football drunk calls to a parent about how their life is messed up from childhood, or plus you've got Pluto and Uranus around, so be very, very careful, says Steph. All of these things, very good things to mention, things to be aware of. And then it brings us full cycle to Tuesday, which, oh no, I say it, it almost makes me think of Ernest, and Ernest goes to summer camp. Oh, I think, you remember Ernest? Does that kind of date me really bad? Okay, good. Tuesday, October 26th. We'll be time travelers, guys. It'll be a full week from today. And what we can expect from everyone is that Venus will be in Sagittarius. Venus still in that fire sign. Oh, and it is squaring off with me as a social worker hating to see. That's right. Neptune in Pisces. What do you think?
ooh.
Right.
Overall Scorpio energy. Yeah, this is so square again is in your way. So this is romantic exploration. And what's in your way? Neptune is dreams, fantasies, ideas. I view it as like foggy. So it's what you think isn't what reality is, or things aren't as what they seem. So I view that in Pisces, Neptune rules Pisces, so it's that kind of introspective energy, and there's like a martyr energy to it. It's like that deathbed perspective. I always say, I view this as like romantic hopes and dreams dashed on the rocks. This is, you think this, you have these ideas, you have these fantasies or dreams, or you think things are going in one way, and you're okay. I'm ready to explore it. With that Venus and Sagittarius, and it gets smacked down. And so this is like I think I found my soulmate, and we have I think you're a really good friend talk. That is.
Oh, no.
This is the realization you're in the friend zone.
Oh, no. Soul friend zone. Oh, no. Gonna happen? When's that gonna happen?
Tuesday.
That's right, next Tuesday. That's gonna happen next Tuesday.
So yeah, your dreams are in the way of your romantic exploration. So as I say, kind of what you think or hope things aren't gonna align with where you want to explore. And again, I always go, it can also be on the business end too. This could be work things not panning out either.
Yeah.
So friend zone is how I describe Tuesday.
Okay, man, I'm gonna be interested to see how that pans out. Steph says Neptune is that dreamy, good as you break from the chaos coming, but it can be refreshing before what's coming again. It is. I see it as a tidal wave. Neptune and Pisces. I see it as King Triton rising up with Ursula and fighting in the waves, and it's crashing about, and Ariel and Eric and they're dancing in a hurricane. They're dancing in a space that, man, you could die just from collateral emotional damage because people are really fighting with things or about things that are important to their soul, to their family unit, to their life, career, dreams. And when fantasies break into reality or vice versa, I don't know, as a social worker, I think of, oh, well, people start talking in Sith language, that all or nothing. Like, well, if I can't have it, no one can. Um, Seeing it with Venus, especially Venus in a fire sign, that's kind of, I almost see it as a domestic dispute
Yeah, I can see it.
gone wrong. In that social workspace, I see this as, if I can't see my kids, then I'm going to come shooting everybody. Uh,
Yeah, see, I see, and I get what Steph's saying. Sometimes people get motivated and carry on based on kind of their dreams and their ideas of how things should be and how things. But I always view a square aspect with Neptune as all those dreams and ideals getting shattered, or your balloon gets popped, or all. So I never view a square Neptune aspect as a happy thing.
yeah, it's going to be some kind of something. And I would say of the next 7 days, it'll be next Tuesday. That might be, I don't know, the when people are like, what day should I worry about? I never worry, because why worry? Be happy. Don't worry. Be happy. But if and why we use astrology to be preventative, next Tuesday is that do some boundary work. Definitely take a shower, get up early, do your stretches, eat breakfast, be prepared for the day, because people are going to be maybe taking things to an emotional space or feeling a little saucy. And you don't want to let it dampen your vibe, for sure. You just don't want to. Just
And
not
I
cool.
see, think Monday with all that emotional intensity. So you have all that emotional intensity on Monday. So I almost see it just as an example. I have all this emotional ability. Yeah, I'm finally going to go ahead and tell so and so how I feel. And then on Tuesday, you do that in it. So it's a bad combo. Those two things next to
I
each
don't
other.
feel that way, they say.
Yeah.
And you go, oh,
Yeah. These 2 days next to each other. I don't like this
shoot.
combo.
Keep it to yourself. Wait until the stars they change. Of all the, yeah. And that's a good thing to know, because I think sometimes if people are like, waiting to hear from that person, or waiting to hear from that boss, or waiting to get that email, or they're obsessing over something, which there's been a lot of that kind of obsessive, kind of energy. I'm interested in what that means for, if okay, today's the day to just close my blinds and stay in. We had that Thursday. This day would be another good day. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's going to be domestic disputes. I almost want to put like money I don't have on it. That's what it's going to be. That's what it's going to be. So just kind of be prepared for that. If you or someone if you, when I say domestic dispute, something or someone comes to mind, whatever that is that comes to mind, keep that in mind next Tuesday, and be preventative if you can in any way, shape, or form. So that's what I think about. What do you think about this week? What do you have to say about the craziness?
Seems like a fairly nice week until we get to Monday and Tuesday. So, so I would say rest up.
Right?
Rest up heading into Monday and Tuesday, and I would not be. If anyone has any idea on Tuesday that they're going to go ahead and share their feelings with someone, I would rethink that. Maybe do that on another day. And then for anyone that does get impacted by when there's a lot of water and that emotional energy out there, just be ready for that. I'm personally going to do a lot of self-care for Monday and just be ready, because I've noticed since I've started following this stuff, I've noticed I always have tough days and it's just not feeling right on days when when there's a lot of water out there, and that water combo on Monday is going to be intense.
Yeah, I'll probably wake up and feel like something's off or something's not quite right in the universe. And usually that means like anxiety in the morning or something like that. So Sunday night, or Monday night, I'll do my night a little different. I'll prepare, not eat way before I go to bed, and do those things that help me feel better for the next day, because I'm preventative for what I know is coming on Tuesday. So it helps me have more purpose and mindfulness in what I am doing. And we don't have to ignore the world. Katie says, that's it. I'm staying in bed. I'm ignoring the world. You can definitely use it as a time to catch up on sleep, but you don't have to. Again, use this as that space to navigate and see like, oh, okay, I see how this works. Okay. And you can actually help it to make things easier for you. I find that astrology helps me feel more prepared. If someone's having a mental breakdown in the middle of Aldi's on Tuesday, I'm going to go, there it is. Look at it go. Neptune and Pisces, Venus and Sagittarius, they're having a bad day and they've lost control. And I don't have to take it personally. And I also don't have to get involved.
Mhm.
Step
Yeah.
away. Step away. Do you know what I mean?
Which we
So,
had somebody earlier too mention about they were a Capricorn and how this would all affect them as a Capricorn. So I would just say if you look at things this is very high level. So I know there's some folks that are much more detail on this stuff. So don't be offended by my watering this down. But Capricorn is an Earth sign, so you're going to have kind of synergy in general with Earth and water signs. So when we talk about, we didn't really talk about any Earth signs except for I think the first day when we had the Taurus stuff. So those energies will be very similar, and then you will have kind of dissimilar if it's a air or fire. So just a general rule. And again, if you're a Capricorn, you're talking about just your sun. You have all your planets in the different signs, which will have all their different aspects to what we're just talking about, where the planets are up in the sky. So I can get very, very detailed. So I'm just giving very, very high level that that person that asked about how it affects things as a Capricorn. There's kind of a synergy with the water sign. So yeah, since we talked a lot of water type stuff, I'd say it's probably going to be overall a good week, but that's really, really high level generalizing things.
Man. Okay, you guys, we still have 15 minutes, but we are done as far as going through all the days. So this usually doesn't happen if you join us every Tuesday at 9 o'clock for Astrology and Alchemy. It's a rare thing for it to be kind of a slow or rather simple focused week. So I'm wondering if any of you guys joining us, Ruth, Steph, Katie, any of you, Nicole, Brianna, Field Guy, if you have any questions, of course, we can always leave out a little early if we, feel like we need to. But I want to address if there's time for any questions that you guys might have or any questions that you might have for Matt before we go. Now would be a really good time. So let her rip. Steph
So
says,
I'll
go.
go in that ahead of time. So how do you view, I think you probably do more with this than I do. How do you view Lilith, since somebody was asking about that?
It's one of those, I know that Lilith and like the Christian thing. So I think of it in a biblical sense first, and that kind of already gives a filter and a bias to it, which I try not to. But I think astrologically, people want it to be about like your most primal, original, um, spontaneous, instant gratification, primitive impulse, raw Lilith, who is defiant. And that can be both feminine thoughts or feminine feelings. It could be sensuality and sexuality. It can be vulnerability. It can be personality of, your deep, deep, deep subconscious that you don't always show people because it's kind of, your deep, dark side. But I think that, and for those people in the Gypsy tribe know that I really do work with the 12 archetypes. And so I feel like all of the zodiac has its own version of the shadow side. And so Lilith, I'm not quite sure how I feel it falls into the astrological spaces. I don't know how I feel about that.
I generally don't use it, but I can. And so I usually don't include it when I do readings or do other things. But again, I can. I view it as this is the hidden room in the basement with all the pictures on the walls of somebody or something. Or this is like, I view it as like that kind of your deep, you said the shadow self, but I view it as like the deep, dark stuff that you keep hidden from everybody else kind of thing, whatever that is. It doesn't have to be, necessarily, obsessive or anything like that. I just view kind of that hidden room kind of deal on it, and then what energy it's in. So since it's in Gemini right now, and that's very extroverted and kind of making decisions one way or another. I feel that some of that energy, what you keep hidden from the rest of the world, maybe even hidden from yourself, there's subconscious feelers going out there to people on that.
Feelers. I like that. That's a good way to describe it. Yeah. I mean, do you feel like, is it supposed to be related to, like, Pluto is Pluto, Uranus is Uranus? Is Lilith denoted to a particular planetary physical?
I want to say it's an asteroid, but I'm
It's
not
an
positive.
asteroid.
I'm not positive it is. It might be another mathematical calculation, but maybe an asteroid. I'm not positive on that.
See, that's where
I should know
I
that, but I
check
don't.
out. Where I'm like, man, is it in the Kuiper Belt? I've never even heard of Lilith. Chiron I get, Hale Bopp, but Lilith is not one that I was ever familiarized with. And so I kind of felt like it was the alter ego default that people just feel they have to include, when really it's included in all signs and it's there as the natural duality of nature. And so I don't necessarily pin it on one particular thing, but I could be completely wrong because I'm not a professional astrologer and I am not a space nut either. I do love space a lot, but I don't know all the asteroids. I just don't.
Katie asked 2 questions, so I'm going to go back to our other one. Which day is the best day? I'm guessing you don't know your Mars sign. I'd want to know what your Mars sign is, but if you know your sun sign, go ahead and share it, and I'll always give you my best shot as to what's the best day to learn to drive. And then expected a day a certain way, and it panned out differently. Like, is there a planet combo that's hard to read? Well, I wouldn't say it's one specific combo. There's some that are harder than others, and we have a lot right now that the planet is in the sign that I would say is almost its most opposite. Like Uranus and Taurus is a weird combo. Mars and Libra is a weird combo, which kind of dilutes things a bit. Okay, you're a Libra.
If you want it.
What was the day? What was the aspect earlier in the week with Mars and Libra? Was that a square or was that something?
Let me go back and look.
That was Thursday. I'm thinking maybe Thursday is your best day, unless that's a hard
Friday. Mars and Libra
Friday.
squaring off with Pluto and Capricorn.
Oh no. That's I go to learn to drive and I like put it into a tree or something. Yeah, no.
Don't do it on Friday.
Yeah, not Friday. Maybe Wednesday or Thursday. I wouldn't do it I wouldn't do it Monday or Tuesday either with all that emotional energy. So either Wednesday,
Saturday.
Thursday, or over the weekend.
Moon and Gemini.
Yeah.
Sunday or Thursday.
So
Thursday or Sunday.
Okay.
Moon in Cancer, Sun in Scorpio.
What did I do?
Yeah. Thursday, it would be the day I would do it, which is coming up. So that's exciting. That's a fun time. Vroom, vroom. Be careful out there. Drive it like you stole it. I don't know if they still say that, but that's how I learned to drive. Katie says, dang, I missed the beginning of the show. That's okay. Oh my gosh. Talk about anxiety. I thought that was my drink that I just got excited and pushed into my lap. Like I needed coffee spilled all over me. Good God almighty. Anyway, that was a moment. Gosh. She says, I have a student bumper sticker. Hee hee. I always look at those. That's so much fun. I took driver's ed when I was young because my dad was scared to drive with me. But he taught me how to drive, but then he was scared and said that I needed to actually learn from a professional too because he wasn't quite sure if he was teaching me the right stuff is what I think was going on. So it's good. Student driver is good. You learn all the right things, and that's what you need. Sorry. But anyway, they're pre-recorded, right, Matt? You can find them on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
You can find them there. They're there for at least 30 days, which I think, after next Tuesday, I don't know why you'd want to listen to it. With the exception of just that we're really cool and fun to listen to. Go back and validate things. Make predictions, guys. My favorite thing and one of my favorite ways to use this show is I've seen some people sending their predictions after the show. They'll be like, this is what I think is going to happen. This is what I got whenever you were describing this. And this is what I felt and heard. And It's a really great thing to add to your journals. If you've got your schedule, get your schedule out. Join us every Tuesday. Get your weekly schedule out. We'll write down the best days to go driving, to go grocery shopping, to call that person up or not call that person up. You can navigate it with a little bit of mindfulness and awareness of what the universe is doing. At least that's what I do. So,
I agree. And I go back and listen at the end of the week to see how it matched up with how my week went.
do
Like,
you really?
yeah, because I don't write this down, so I kind of all off the top of my head, and then see how it goes. I'd also add, when you said which one's tough, it's different aspects, but I would say in general Uranus, just because it is that curveball, so it's hard to predict what that curveball is going to be. So,
Right.
even if you think there's going to be some unexpected change here because it is Uranus and it's unexpected, it's going to be a different way because it's what you didn't expect.
Yeah. Expectations. I have found that to be a major issue lately, as far as people not necessarily taking the time to think about their expectations or to be realistic about their expectations. Some of that Neptune and Pisces energy of people, fantasizing about one thing, and then it maybe does or does not come to fruition. And one cannot be devastated or disappointed because a fantasy becomes a reality, because they are absolutely two different things. They're going to be different. When you buy the car off the lot, it's going to have a sputter. It's going to get wrecked. It's going to get a ding. It's not going to be perfect. I struggle with perfection sometimes, but I have learned to fall in love with life because of the imperfections, the spirit beads, the things you notice that catch your eye, and so it can be hypnotic, it can be beautiful, it can be distracting. Nicole says, can I ask one more question? Absolutely. We've got just a few more moments before we jump off here. Nicole, what's your question? Feel free. If any of you guys have any last minute questions, go
Yeah, and
ahead.
while she's typing, Steph was asking about the dwarf planet. I don't, or I don't know how many of these are dwarf planets or asteroids, but I'm aware of them. I just don't, you can start you can really start making this really, really complicated. And so I'll look at them, but I don't incorporate them all the time. And when I do readings and things like that, because you just add so many layers, it can get really deep really fast. Did she meet her soulmate?
Who's that?
That's what Nicole asked.
Okay, makes sense. Got another spirit named Sam. Did who meet whose soulmate? Who you talking about?
I'll pull a card.
Did I meet my soulmate?
Nicole.
Man, that's a psychic question, right? And then Matt's like, I'm going to meditate and pull a card. I want to say
Take it for what it is. I'm doing this off the top of my head.
I want to say twin flame, so you're going to get a heart.
Got the Hermit.
Ooh.
So how would you interpret that?
A reflection of self. Like when I say twin flame, another version of self, something that is willing to pull you out of yourself to be different and to be your true self or to know self. The hermit is someone who goes into their cave, but I think of the allegory of the cave. Just because of what you see and hear in the cave, it's that reality and fantasy. You must have moderation and be able to bring it to light and bring it to fruition and bring it to the real world. Otherwise, it's not really real, is it? But what is real? The hermit contemplates that, but then has to put it into action. You can't just stay there or you'll die in your shell. So in reference to like, did I meet my soulmate? It's like the hermit is someone who's, they're going to say, well, you could think that over and over and over, but you won't know until you know. And when you know, you know. And so if you're asking, are you asking for validation or are you asking because you haven't acted on those feelings yet to completely know for sure? The hermit is quite major arcana, right? How do you interpret that?
Yeah, I would interpret it very similar to what you're saying. I would say is that is a seal yourself away for a while and really think about it. Don't act. Don't. I view like the hermit as I'm going to go off in the woods and ponder life and think about things for it. So this is a don't get the validation. Don't get the validation from other people. Don't let other people tell you whether they're your soulmate or not, which is funny because that's what we're doing right now. Is telling you. But go and introspect it. Introspection, dwell on it, sit on it, see how it feels inside to you, and do that. And but this is something that only you're going to be able to answer from within.
I love it.
So
I
that's.
love it.
Steph said she was asking the same question, so I said the same thing. Time, introspection. Don't let somebody else tell you that, and only you will know. But sit about it, think about it, ponder it, see how you feel about it.
Yeah. Such an interesting time right now too, because of all the Capricorn energy. People are just kind of coming out of the woodwork. Some old, amazing frequencies being reopened and reignited. The only tarot cards I own are the Golden Girls ones. That's okay, Katie. I love that deck, and we can deal with that too. Nicole says I got my first tarot set, but it's a Nightmare Before Christmas. Even cooler. You guys, those are all great. I love that.
Dude, if I have a Halloween, I don't know where my Halloween deck went. I gotta look. I have a Halloween deck that I got.
Man,
Really cool.
I was going to say, I've got my Edgar Allan Poe. I've got a bunch of really cool ones. We should do a tarot series here soon. Or for Halloween, I was thinking about jumping on and doing tarot for Halloween.
We can come on. We can come on another night. So we should just go ahead and set one up one night and just be pulling cards.
Yeah. So you guys don't forget, that means, of course, you're going to want to sign up. You're going to want to subscribe because we have all sorts of fun, cool stuff coming. And you don't want to miss a single piece of it, whether that be one of our upcoming workshops or maybe even some free readings and giveaways. You can follow on Facebook.com/Autumn Moon Astrology or Facebook.com/Astrology and Alchemy. Either one of those, you're going to find all sorts of cool links to learning more about the stars and how to use it. That's the goal, guys. And then if you want to reach out to Matt or I privately, you can always do that too. I'm going to put in here my website, which is paranormalsarah.com. When in doubt, Google Paranormal Sarah. And if you would like to email Matt, mslosier@yahoo.com. Both of us are available for readings. We also do a pretty cool reading together. We've been doing a fun one that is $33, and it is a really creepy, cool birth chart alchemy equation. I don't know how we're going to pitch that yet, Matt. We're still kind of working on it. It's nothing like I've ever seen anyone else do, which is kind of cool. It gives you the idea of kind of maybe how to balance the energies out and about. And it's just kind of a cool new way to incorporate astrology into divination. So if you guys are interested in that, just DM us however you are watching, whether that's on Instagram or Facebook or YouTube or the Paranormal channel or Facebook. Did I already say that?
Wherever you're at, if you can, give us a like. Subscribe or like the page. It all helps. No matter how you're getting this, wherever you're at, go ahead and do that. It helps.
Yeah, it will. And tag a friend if you know somebody who might be interested to join us next Tuesday. Like and share. And Matt and I have been known to usually always go back and comment and give answers to the questions, and usually message you and give you advice and answer all of your questions that you send us. So don't hesitate to reach out, guys. We would love to hear from you and any of your advice on the show. Steph says, gosh, how do you do that? Is it live? Is it recorded? It's actually kind of a cool thing. The readings are for me, I like to do the audio, the recording, but we've worked it out to be a paragraph each, where each of us give a little bit of a paragraph on how to best use the energy. And then we send you some additional files, and it just comes in a big old chunk. And it's not too terribly in depth, right? It's just a little $30 insight into how to use your birth chart into the alchemy, really, into the math, into kind of the energies and frequencies. It's kind of a cool thing. But yeah, if you're interested, I see a few of you guys saying, yeah, I want that. Private message either Matt or I, and we will get you hooked up on that, and we will get you going. So it's best if you know your birth chart information, though. So that's your birthday, time, and place you were born. Some people don't know the exact time. You can always look on your birth certificate. It usually is on there, or call up your mama if she's alive and you're in a good relationship with them. Mine's not, so I can't. But I was born at 11/13. So knowing that does help. And then where. preferably a city and state. But if you don't know those things, we'll try our best, but reach out, let us know. And Mary, Ruth, Steph, Brianna, all of you, thank you for joining us. Right? I'm going to post a few more things in here, Matt. What else am I missing?
I think you got it. It's good. Always a fun show. Thank you everybody for joining. And yeah, share if you know people that would like it. Share the pages. Share that. Yeah, it's all good. We want to grow our little family here that we have these cool discussions with.
Yeah, the more the merrier. And I love having those additional perspectives because that's what this is about. It's about pooling that information together so that we can all be best prepared. So bring your friends, and bring your friends. Tag somebody you know, and join us, of course, next Tuesday. He did shave.
By
Ghosted
accident.
Eli.
I was trimming my beard and I turfed it, so I had to either go the Amish look or shave. So I was like, I shave. I don't like it. I hate it, but it'll stick around for a while.
You had to shave the whole thing. I love it. I think he looks a ton younger. And I said the same thing. I was like, oh, you did that. So I think that's funny that Eli shares that. Yep. And love to all. Thank you for joining us again. Don't miss
Really quick,
out next
that
Tuesday.
is a Uranus moment when you go to trim your beard and end up turfing your face. That is a Uranus thing.
Turfing? Is that a real term?
That's kind of what I did. It went this like skin part, it was all beard and I had skin. So I was like, shit, gotta shave.
I just like that verb, turfed. Anyway, all right, guys. Next Tuesday, 9 p.m. Central Standard Time. We're here every week, and we hope we'll see you then for Astrology and Alchemy with Paranormal Sarah and Matthew Slosier. Until then, guys, we'll see you then.
Take care.